Okay, hello and welcome. Today I'm talking to No Big D and Half Asian. That is Debbie, Meg, Mel, and also Ian. The song we're talking about today is called Happiness is Hard to Get. It's written by Half Asian and covered for this mom album by No Big D. So before we get started, I want to recognize that I am speaking to you from the traditional unceded territories of the Quilt First Nation. At work today, I was talking to someone who started an all Indigenous online radio station. And one of her flagship programs is called Still Here. And yeah, I've just been thinking about that today, and I don't really have much more to say about it, to be honest, but those two words just really kind of been sticking with me. I think it's a pretty powerful statement, and yeah, it sucks that we need that reminder sometimes that is true, but I'm grateful to Denise Halfyard of Frog Radio for keeping that at the foreground. Check it out, they're online. I highly recommend it, Frog Radio. Okay, so as some of you might already know, the kind of cornerstone of these online visits is to give, in this case, you, Ian, of Half Asian, a chance to hear your song covered by No Big D for the very first time. The album has a name now, which is really exciting. It's called Under the Quilt, a celebration album for MomFest. And it features musicians who were scheduled to be at the Music on the Mountain Festival in 2020. And we'll talk about the album a little bit more after. But first off, let's just check in. Where are you all, and how have you been keeping busy? No Big D, let's start with you.
Sure. So we are currently on the traditional and unceded territory of the Latako Dene Nation, which is this beautiful, beautiful place, and we are so very grateful.
We're at Debbie's house on the deck. We're outside. And yeah, we have no trouble keeping busy. We have trouble getting downtime. So, working, kids, trying to squeeze some band practices in, and yeah, a little fun on the side. That's what we've been up to.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
And really excited about Ian hearing the song.
Yeah, we hope you like it, Ian. We changed it a little bit, but I think you're gonna like it.
We sure did.
How about you, Ian? Where are you calling in from today?
This is our first day of tour. We left the island yesterday, and we're in Nelson right now. I know that we're on Sinaik's territory. I don't actually know all the whose land this is, but we're in what's called Nelson now, and we're going to be traveling for the next 40 days, and we're doing a workshop in Weimar tomorrow for Kindle program that they have through Tiny Lights, which is a festival there. And then yeah, we're gonna play a bunch of shows and bomb around and try
That's
and
awesome.
do the thing again,
Yeah, I think you're the first person we've spoken to who's actually been like out in the world and playing shows already, so you're kind of at the forefront of that. But yeah, it feels imminent, so good for you.
Yeah, I hope that nothing gets canceled.
Yeah, no kidding, hey. Okay, so let's just dive in. I think we'll just go ahead and listen to the song, and then we can talk about it. Here is No Big D with Happiness is Hard to Get, covering Half Asian.
Bottom of her swimsuit's wet. so good when we're together. Ow! God rest her soul, but it's highly unlikely she'll pay that toll. She'll pay that
There it is. Happiness is Hard to Get, written by Half Asian, covered by No Big D. Ian, what are your first impressions? What were you thinking?
Oh, that's awesome. I really like it.
Yay. I
We
love to
were
hear that.
so worried.
We had so much fun. It was really
so
fun.
much fun.
Did.
Yeah, you can tell.
We
It's like
loved
a
going
real-
into the beer.
I really
Yeah,
like
we
what
had
you
a
did.
bit
Yeah.
with a couple of the parts, so we just put them together and then we called it the weird. And we layered a bunch of vocals
Yeah,
on there.
some whispered tracks. And
Yeah.
some, yeah, it was really
Made it-
fun.
Yeah, that's cool. I like though you took the parts and did them, and like I could tell like you're like going through the different pieces. I don't know if that makes sense. Like, yeah, I like
Yeah,
it.
like the
Really cool.
Definitely,
Yeah.
definitely an original
Right
take.
on. That's
Sounds super badass when you guys do it. It sounds like a different. Like, I hear those words totally differently, like when with like the tank girl delivery or whatever, like, yeah.
Yeah, we split up all the vocals. So Janelle's not here, but all four of us sang different parts, and then we all layered our vocals for some of it as well, just because it was a lot of fun to do.
Yeah.
We all wanted a piece of the action.
That's got to be
Exactly.
weird to hear this, like the lyrics you wrote coming out in a different way. We're doing it our way. It's the only way we can do it.
Yeah. Me too. I can only do it my way too. Yeah, I really like it.
It's
How
so
did you
good.
guys-
We love the song too.
How did you put that together? So what did you start with? Like, did you record that? Where did you record that? How did you do it?
Yeah, so we recorded here actually. We have a studio in our basement, and Sean, my husband, is an engineer, so he did the recording for us.
Perfect.
And we practiced it for a while, and we kind of had, at first we were going to try to do it with keyboards, right? We were going to try to really replicate what you had created. And then we scrapped that idea pretty quickly and then decided to do it D style, which is, And then we kind of just took the parts and kind of broke it up and then just tried to really kind of tune into the essence of the song and then, and bring what we, from our heart.
Yeah, as soon as we decided to just lean into making it our own, then the song kind of started to come together. We were trying too hard at first to really try to replicate, and then it was almost just too forced. So we kind of changed things to make them a little bit easier and just to make more sense for us. And we just practiced all the different parts of the song over and over, and then put it together and recorded it here on one very late night.
It was like 2 a.m. or something when we finished up, and that's when it kind of got we call it the weird, where we have those layered like whisper tracks and like all those sort of mystery pieces.
That was the last minute.
It was
fun
pretty
at that
late night,
stage.
and we were like, our creativity was pretty high. It was awesome, super fun.
Yeah, that's
Did you know immediately what song you wanted to cover of Half Asian's catalog, or did you kind of dive in a little bit? Did you spend some time on that side of things, or was it like right away, that's the song for us?
Actually, I listened to a bunch of songs on Spotify, and then that was the one that kind of jumped out at me, because I feel like it just kind of resonated with me. Like everybody's kind of searching for that sweet spot of happy. And I just liked how kind of upbeat the tempo was, and I brought it to these guys and listened to a few others, and then kind of landed on that song.
Awesome. And that song is, correct me if I'm wrong, but that is on, that's coming up on your album that's being released tomorrow or the next day, Ian, like really soon, right?
It's released tomorrow because we're at the 30th today. Yeah. And
So tomorrow as of filming of this, but
that isn't, I don't think that's on the record, actually. I think that made the cut for this current record that's coming out. It's not on the record.
Oh,
But
interesting.
because I mean, like we did record another version of it, but it didn't make this release.
Oh.
For future releases, maybe then.
Yeah, I think we're probably gonna release something else next June, as soon as, once this kind of album cycle is through. There's lots of stuff in the works.
And then as it turns out, of course, No Big D, you're also releasing your debut album this month as well. So it's kind of funny how that worked out. Both of you kind of releasing imminent albums and then also collaborating, from a distance on this song. So what can people expect from the No Big D album?
That's a 5-song banger.
Sure is.
Yeah, we took 5 songs that we've been playing for quite a while. They're kind of from our original set list when we first formed, and we
People always like them. People get up and they're like, this seems to be what people really want to hear. So
kind of our high energy songs, and we thought we'd just package those up as a little, intro to No Big D. Yeah, with the full length album next summer. So August 27th is our release.
You cut out a little bit there. When's the full length? When's the next release?
The next release will be, hopefully, fingers crossed, completed by next summer.
Awesome.
But this one is actually, it is August 27th.
August
So
27th.
we've got some good sales.
we have a big show for it.
I can tell you're in a great part of the province because your internet isn't perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, so I mean, I've been asking this question a lot, and it's kind of aging poorly, and I'm really grateful for that because we can connect in some more tangible ways now, but or at least start thinking about it. But have you kind of felt some sense of community, a little bit of that festival spirit through this project at all? Because I think that was kind of the intent, and it's hard to do from a distance. So I'm wondering kind of how that played out for you guys. Let's start with you, Ian.
Yeah, I'm feeling it. Like when I did the interview, because I covered a Danny Bell song, and kind of out of that last interview, like this tour kind of that we're on came about. That was only 2 months ago, maybe not even that long ago, and we just, that was the impetus that kind of shot us into doing this tour. And now hearing No Big D's cover of that song totally feels like, I don't know, we exchanged some energy, even though I've never met you, It's kind of like we're like pen pals through Spotify or something, This like the fact that like it's something that's like close to me is that song, right? Because I spent so much time with it. It's like something really personal, but it's also public. So that's guess what music is, right? Like whispering your secrets in the microphone or whatever. So to have a group of people spend time with that same thing that I spent a bunch of time with, it's like we have a cousin in common now or whatever.
100%.
I like that. The song is what's uniting us, right? It's that third thing that we're both a part of, even though we've never met.
Yeah, in the
Now we
absence
have
of a
connection.
festival feel together in, right?
Yeah, the festival is usually that third thing that we're both a part of, but
Yeah.
we're part of one song now, which is nice.
How about you three? How about No Big D? Have you felt some communal spirit here?
Yeah, totally. I think so. It was really kind of a cool concept to just be able to cover someone else's music that they wrote, that we could have, being at this beautiful festival together. And I've always loved Fest. So in lieu of that, this was a really creative idea. I just thought, I'm so happy to be proud of it, or to be part of it, to probably be part of it. And then also, I just wanted to say that how you're releasing it with slowly and having all of these songs kind of pop up. I feel like this festival is just kind of like a much, it's taking up more space than it would have if it was in the weekend. So it's been really kind of special.
Yeah, it's neat how you guys have put it all together where we get to watch the release to you and how we get to be part of it together and get to see our song. It's been really fun. And really great idea and how it's to come together.
Yeah, I think it really added something to kind of put people in conversation with each other, right? And I mean, I don't know how successful it is, and I don't know that it has to be, but to kind of recreate that like late night campfire feel where people are just, you know, swapping songs and kind of sharing space. Yeah, and I mean on my end it's been really fun too. So I'm glad you're enjoying it.
Yeah, it's kind of like the workshop stage. That's like the one chance you have to play somebody else's tune, and it kind of feels like similar to that.
Yeah. And just find out about new music that maybe you wouldn't have been exposed to otherwise,
Yeah.
which is another great thing festivals do. So I feel like that this project has definitely done that as well.
Yeah.
So to wrap up, Ian, as someone who is out on the road, as so many musicians wish they were, what's it like? Are you enjoying it? Is it everything you expected and more?
Yeah, it's also kind of like surfing the apocalypse. Like we drove into the smoke, we've been out of the smoke up until day before yesterday. So like we really saw the edge of it and we approached it and then drove into it like a sci-fi movie. And then like just being out in public again is a trip. Like we isolated basically just us and like one group of two friends and my parents for like 18 months, like a lot of people did, right? And now we're just like out in the world and like trying to exist again and like do our job that was illegal for a while. And I wouldn't want to ever do anything else right now because this is like what I love doing the most, but it's definitely we're needing to adjust and we're taking it slow. Like just to be in a crowd again, like there's a spikes in cases here in Nelson, and like, we're in the park and there was this guy on like a PA like holding like an anti everything rally. Like it was a trip. It was like wow, like whoa, everybody's on their own mission here, you know, and like just trying to be like, okay, we're both double vaccinated. Hopefully we can just like, I don't even know. We're just figuring it out. I don't know if that's kind of a rambling answer, but that's where I'm
Oh,
honestly.
I think that's a really good point. I'm like so anxious to be optimistic, but it's important to note that we're not out of the woods yet. And yeah, there's a lot of people in some pretty trying situations right now in BC, COVID and not COVID related.
Yeah.
So yeah. Well, stay safe out there. Yeah, and thank you all for being here tonight. I really appreciate it, and I know it's hard with everyone's schedules. So I appreciate you making the time. You can find this song, Happiness is Hard to Get, at momfest.bandcamp.com. It is one of 19 songs that are released, have been released over the past few months. There's a few more weeks of releases still to come. So make sure you check it out. And yeah, you can stream it, but if you can, please consider buying it. It will help support the Music on the Mountain Society and future Momfests, whenever that may be. Yeah, we also want to thank the BC Arts Council for their support of the project, and our awesome community of musicians and artists and supporters who have contributed so much to this project, so much time and energy and thoughtfulness. And yeah, it really shows through in the album. So thank you all. Yeah, see you next time.
Thanks, Kate.
Thank you.
Bye, Ian. Have fun on tour.